now go across to my colleague Srinjoy Chaudhary. And Srinjoy, a picture is more than 1,000 words. And I want you to describe for our viewers the pictures we have got from this important visit of the Prime Minister, the salute, a potent message to Pakistan, the S-400's missile stack in the background. Perhaps for the first time, we have publicly released an image of S-400 missile defense system. Explain to us the significance.
Well, this is a triumph of messaging, because at this point, very clearly, the Indian government is making it clear, the Prime Minister himself is making it clear that this has been a successful operation and all the necessary things have been done. Whether it's the terror back camps, whether it's the Pakistani radars, whether it's the Pakistani airbases, they had to be taken out, and that process has been culminated. The success is something to celebrate, which is why Prime Minister went across. It's also a message to the other side, saying, look, you said that the S-400 has been destroyed. Well, I'm standing in front of the S-400. It's not just a message to the other side, it's a message to the world that the Indian air defense system has been intact. The Indian Air Force defense systems successfully countered these Pakistani attacks. As a result, we stand firm. And this is a way of telling the armed forces that, look here, you guys have done a good job. The armed forces report to the government, headed by the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister is responsible because the armed forces, in a sense, are part of the government. So he has to reach out as well and tell them that they have done a good job. And at this point, that is exactly what he is doing, telling them that, look, you've done well and India benefited from your success.
Right. Stay on with us, Srinjoy. Let me now go across to Pradeep Datta. And Pradeep, I want you to tell our viewers about how the same image is also exposing Pakistan's propaganda. Because remember, it was Pakistan that had claimed in front of the entire world that its missiles had hit the runway at the Air Force base in Adampur. Where did it hit? I mean, we can't see any damage as far as Adampur Airbase is concerned.
See, Hina, there is a saying, lie has no legs. That's one of the reasons that Pakistani propaganda has fallen flat within hours, because they said that they had hit Adampur Airbase, that twice they tried to target, no doubt about that, they tried to target. But reason is that because of that Suraksha Kavach of S-400, their missiles failed to penetrate inside Indian airspace and hit this particular area. And by Prime Minister now going out to that place, you can see the visuals, narrate the whole story, rightly said. S-400, this is the Suraksha Kavach that prevented Pakistan from targeting this airbase. Not only that, you can see that Bharat Mata ki chant slogans echoing not only in Adampur but across length and breadth of the country. Few days back, it was the roads of Rafale, Sukhoi and MiG-29 that sent shivers down the spine of Pakistan. And today, definitely these chants from this Adampur airbase that's just closer to international border is going to make Pakistanis tremble in their feet. Because while I was listening to this chant, I was reminded of the few lines of Atal Bihari Vajpayee had written.
What Bharat, after this?
Zameen ka tukda nahi, jeeta jaagta Rashtra Purush hai. ये भारत जमीन का टुकड़ा नहीं है, जीता जागता राष्ट्र पुरुष है। ये अर्पण की भूमि है, तर्पण की भूमि है, ये चंदन की भूमि है, अभिनंदन की भूमि है। इसके कंकर कंकर में शंकर है, इसके बूंद बूंद में गंगा जल है। हम जिएंगे इसके लिए और मरेंगे इसके लिए। कल जब हमारी अस्थियां भाई जाएंगी और कोई कान लगा के सुनेगा, एक ही आवाज आएगी, भारत माता की जय। Because this soldier, whether it's an air warrior, whether it's a military personnel, whether it's naval personnel, because they live with that unrelenting commitment towards the nation, that at any cost they will see that tricolor fluttering. And this tricolor is not fluttering because of the blowing wind. And no one other than Prime Minister can understand this thing. Well, that is there. He is expressing his gratitude by being with them, because this Adampur base had been very important strategically also. Because from here, the retaliation started. Look at this operation. 5 days. And within 5 days, 9 terror hubs were completely demolished, decimated. 11 strategic bases were damaged extensively. And, and more than 100 terrorists killed. And several army personnel, Air Force personnel also died. died during this operation, and that shows the might of Indian Air Force, and all that propaganda has fallen flat.
Well, with one Operation
Sindoor,
Sindoor, India managed to achieve several objectives. That is the conclusion. It was a victory for India. We heard from the Prime Minister as well yesterday. Pragya, we heard from the armed forces as well yesterday कि अब याचना नहीं रण होगा. The last and final warning, I guess, was given by the Prime Minister as well in the address by the Prime Minister yesterday. Pragya and Srinjoy as well as Pradeep, request you to stay on with us. Let me also tell our viewers some more details that we are getting, because viewers, this visit of the Prime Minister is extremely important. You know, it seems to have rattled Pakistan, and quite rightly, because there you have the leader of the country, the Prime Minister of the country, you know, saluting the braves, the Jawans. And these faces, viewers, are faces of fearlessness, determination. You know, those who were there relentlessly thwarting all attempts of Pakistan. Let's now tell you a little bit more about this visit of the Prime Minister and why it is very, very important. Prime Minister left for Adampur Air Force Station at 7 a.m. Remember, yesterday only he addressed the nation, and this morning itself at 7 a.m. he left for Adampur Air Force Station. The IAF chief accompanied the Prime Minister. Prime Minister spent an hour with the soldiers. That's the information that we have got from sources. And apart from that, MiG-29 fighter jets are housed here. And that's why this base is extremely important. Prime Minister boosted the morale of the fighter pilots as well. Prime Minister also met the technical support staff as far as this airbase is concerned. This is what we have learned from our sources. For more, let me now go across to my colleague Pragya. Pragya, now this is important, and that has been, you know, something very special about the Prime Minister, that after something big, he goes to meet the people, all the people rather, who were responsible. So while the armed forces here in New Delhi addressed the press conference, told us about how this entire operation was executed, now we have the Prime Minister himself going to the Air Force Station, to the air base, and meeting perhaps the Jawans who were there fighting for us, the technical staff as well. It's very, very significant, isn't it? Pragya. Well, Pragya, are you able to hear me? Okay, we'll try and reconnect with Pragya, but if I could take that question across to my colleague Pradeep Datta. Pradeep, it's important because this has been, that makes him really stand out as a leader. He also goes to meet the people on the ground, because boosting their morale is very, very important, isn't it?
What makes Prime Minister Narendra Modi right now the best leader in the world? Reason is that he's someone who has been leading from the front. We have seen that how all these days he had been staying awake till late night so that he can give sleepless night to Pakistan. And today he is trying to boost morale of those soldiers, air warriors. And he was with the technical staff also, because each and every person here really mattered. One who had been flying those aircrafts, fighter jets, trying to send shiver down the spine of Pakistan, trying to decimate and demolish their terror hubs. But also this air staff, because that's really very important, the technical staff. Nothing would have been possible because of this, without this technical staff, because they were the one who were trying to ensure that all those drones, all those projectiles, they're not able to penetrate Indian airspace. Because when Pakistan unleashed those projectiles, those drones, those missiles, they wanted to wreak havoc. But what really happened? Because of this S-400 and other air defense system, those were lying scattered in Indian fields. Basically,
and today the world knows about our air defense superiority. It's evident. It does not really need any other proof. Pragya as well as Pradeep, requesting both of you to stay on with us. Let's also tell our viewers a little bit about this visit of the Prime Minister, because there was something more. There was a message also that India is sending, because remember what Pakistan was busy doing during the airstrikes that were taking place. Pakistan was also busy pushing its own propaganda. And what did it say? That Pakistan's missiles had hit Adampur runway. India's answer, there you can see the visit of the Prime Minister at the same air base Has it been hit anywhere? At least I can't see. So Pakistan really needs to see these details. Pakistan had claimed that it had hit S-400 defense system. We had a picture of the Prime Minister telling the entire world it is there, and it is a defense system. It is the Brahmastra for a country like India. We have developed very, very strong air defense systems, and it's the enemy that should be worried now. Pakistan had claimed that drones had hit Adampur radar, but there you can see it's operational. It's absolutely fine. We have our aircraft also, stationed there, ready to hit if at all there is any kind of an attempt of any misadventure from the other side. Pakistan had claimed that missiles had destroyed the aircraft. There you have the visual proof, because it's important to also expose Pakistani propaganda, viewers, because there were many on social media as well as some in Western media who were actually amplifying these kind of news reports that were emerging from Pakistan. Pakistan had claimed that 60 were killed at Adampur, but the reality here, and there you can see all the Jawans happy, celebrating, telling the Prime Minister how their experience was and how they feel right now. And Pakistan did not really end there. Pakistan also tried to say that Adampur is out of action for years. All fake. So fakery has been exposed as well with this one visit of the Prime Minister to this extremely important airbase, the Adampur Airbase in Punjab. And with this, viewers, we will slip into another very, very short break. More on the other side. Don't go anywhere.